Hello, my Xbox and Me watcher. I apologize. This week's video accidentally crashed on us and we could do nothing about it. There is a bit of an abrupt end and, of course, no video. We did manage to save the audio, thankfully, but with that said, enjoy. Hello, and welcome to my Xbox and Me, episode 350! I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the one and only, the man wearing a PlayStation shirt on the Xbox podcast at episode 350, Too Fresh Kresh. How are you, Kresh? Kresh is drinking tea, everybody. He's sorry, it was Matt P. Matt P's wearing the PlayStation t-shirt. I'm sorry. Matt P, how are you?
Should I whip off the shirt? Is that what the people want?
No, keep the shirt on. TOS, terms of service. I don't want to get done. Keep the shirt on. How are you,
I didn't
Matt?
think about it. I'm very well, mate. I'm very well. How are you, more importantly? Are we jet lagged? Are we feeling strong? Are we feeling good?
We'll get to that. Let's bring Kresh in first. Kresh, you're not really wearing a PlayStation shirt. I'm sorry. How are you?
I know. You lied just to get me on the trick.
I did.
I lied just to check.
It works though. You're not gonna lie. You weren't prepared. You was drinking tea, so I did my job. Matt, I'm alright. I'm okay. I'm tired. Tired Fixer. Very tired. Very, very tired. I'm back. I'm back from Texas, everybody. Yeehaw. Yippee-ki-yay. Everything's bigger in Texas. What else? Do you know I didn't hear him say yeehaw once?
You didn't hear? I don't think I heard a single yeehaw when I was over in Texas either.
They don't do yeehaw. That's not a thing. I always thought that was a thing.
But then that would be
wait. So you guys really thought that was a thing?
Yes. I generally thought people said yeehaw. Yes.
When I went to Texas, I spent most of my time in like Austin and that area, and so I didn't really expect a yeehaw. But Fixer was down on a farm. Like Fixer was on the ranch. I expected a yeehaw.
I was up
on the farm.
Up
in the farm.
I was up north.
To be fair, if Texans came over here, they would not hear us saying governor or other things that British people are typically known to say.
Wanker. Yeah, we say wanker a lot.
Yeah, we'd say wanker.
Yeah. That's what Dave, who I was saying with. Yeah, they were.
You guys.
Yeah. Go on.
You guys don't say it to that degree that one would assume you guys say it to.
What, wanker? Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I say tosser more than I say wanker.
I don't say tosser that much. That's a lot of swearing in the beginning of this podcast.
I didn't even
get the shirt off now.
I had a great time, Matt. Thank you for asking. It was a crazy experience. For those who don't know, if you're tuning in for the first time or you don't know who the hell we are, I just got back from a trip to Texas. I was gone for 10 days. I was up on a ranch. Yeah, I was being a cowboy for 10 days, and it was one of the weirdest experiences I've ever had in my entire life, and I am bloody knackered. I have to say, I didn't have a holiday. It wasn't a holiday. That is one thing I will say. You know, when you go on holiday, you get to lay by the pool or whatever your version of a holiday is, which relaxes you, because not everyone likes laying by the pool and beaches and stuff like that, but I do. I very much do enjoy laying by the pool and decompressing and not doing anything. That wasn't this. No, I was on a ranch. I rode cows. I didn't ride cows. That's a lie. I rode horses. I went to a Dallas Mavericks game. I held a gun. I was cleaning up puppies' poo. I was helping feed cows. I did it all. Like, honestly, Haley's aunt runs a ranch and she does a bunch of other stuff. And yeah, it was an experience. Let me tell you, it was an experience. Like waking up and just like going outside, and then there's just horses just there, just literally there. I drove I think they're called a Can-Am or a Polaris, which is like an open car thing. I don't drive in the UK, for people who don't know, so I got to drive that. And like as I stopped, a horse just come up by the side of me and shoved their head inside the vehicle, and you're just like, yep, this is normal. This is normal life for these people. But yeah, it was weird. It was a very weird experience, Matt. Very, very weird. What's the one burning question you got though? Come on. I know you must have one, both of you. One burning question about Texas you want to know. Come on, hit me. Kresh, what you got? Come on, hit me.
I got no curiosities about Texas.
I didn't die. I was very happy about
it. Really?
We were kind of halfway through your story about holding a gun when you disconnected on the last podcast.
Yeah, so yeah, you know, they enjoy their guns in Texas. They enjoy their guns. Let me tell you that. And yes, I was sitting down. It was the first minute I got there, pretty much. Like it was literally the first moment. We were talking about guns for some reason, and one of the members of family, I don't want to bait him out, was like, "Oh, I've got a gun in my car. Let me," even though it's legal, but you know, I've got a gun in my car. Let me go get it. They go and get their gun. They take the bullets out of the chamber. They take a bullet out of the clip. And then they just sort of throw it at me. Sort of like, here you go. Here's a gun. And I'm holding it and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this thing's heavy. You ever held a gun, Kresh?
I've never held a gun.
You ain't even American. I'm sure of it. There's
You
no
know
way
that-
you're American.
It's very hard to get like a legal gun in New York City.
So in New York it is, where in Texas they give them out when you're
Yeah.
born. That literally you pop out and they're like, wah,
Yeah.
wah. Here's a pistol, mate. Have that.
Yeah.
That's how it felt anyway. But yeah, it was very strange. And then they wanted me to go shoot it on this gigantic ranch, and I said no. I said if you take me to a shooting range, I'll do it. And they were like, we ain't taking you to no shooting range. You got no chance. There's a perfectly good pond. Their words. There's a perfectly good pond right there. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
No.
I couldn't do it. I felt very uneasy about the whole thing. But I had a great time. I got to go to a Dallas Mavericks game. It was a lot of fun. Got to walk around Texas. I drove through Austin, and we drove. Obviously, we was in Dallas, so I was there, and it was fun. I went. Okay, let me list it really quick. I know it's an Xbox podcast, but I went to a 7-Eleven. I went to a Buc-ee's. I went to a Walmart. I went to a Hooters. I went to
Whataburger?
Crap. Wait, obviously had Whataburger, which okay, I have to admit something. Now, I've only ever heard Americans say Whataburger. I
Yeah.
always thought it was pronounced Waterburger.
Yep, I thought the exact same thing.
So I've been saying Waterburger I've not said it much, but my entire life. I got there and see the sign. It's like, what a burger.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, that makes so much more sense. But yeah, so yeah, I had a Whataburger. I love their shake, so I went and got their shake a couple of times when I was allowed to. I went to a Dickie's. You got Dickie's barbecue, Kresh, in New York?
Possibly. I've never heard of it. Though.
Okay. And Kresh, I'm happy to tell you one important thing about this trip.
Yeah.
I had some of the best pizza I've ever had. Now, let me tell you, I understand why you dislike Domino's. I finally understand why you dislike Domino's. Can't remember the place we went to. It was a little, I think they said they've got chains, but it was a smaller establishment. It weren't a Pizza Hut or a Domino's. I had some breadsticks. Oh my God, these breadsticks were to die for. Matt, they were to die for. The pizza I had, to die for. And I was like, it was at that moment I understood why Kresh was beating on me to get Domino's pizza. But we don't have those places here, Kresh. All we've got is a Pizza Express. And that isn't to the same quality. It isn't to the same quality.
I understand.
But yeah, I finally understand. I can't wait to come to New York, Kresh. Can't wait. And the main question here, which is, has that, like, I've been building up America in my head since I was probably about 10. Did it match my ex? But no, it didn't. It didn't. It wasn't even close. I was so upset. There's so many things there's so many things I didn't do, and the way that the trip went, it wasn't the same sort of trip that I was so disappointed. I went to Walmart, bro. It's just a big Tesco's.
With guns.
It's just a big Tesco's, man.
With guns.
There was no guns. There was no guns. The one I went in, they had no guns. I was pissed. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was fuming. I was so upset. So upset. But
I don't know if you ever, like, any trip you'd have to America would live up to your expectations of what it is.
Maybe New York. I think that's the only place. And that's because I'd be staying in central New York. You would have thought. What I have learned is your country is so bloody big. Everything is driving distance. So,
especially Texas.
Texas was disgusting, bro. It was so to get to anywhere, we were in a car for about an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yeah, and people are fine with that. People
bro,
are more than happy to drive 4-hour round trips to get food.
Bro, we went to the beach, which we went to Fort Collins. We went to Fort Worth. We went to Fort Collins, I think. Again, sorry, I'm messing up the names. But we went to like this separate beach island place where we went on a boat and did a bunch of other crap. Again, it's an Xbox podcast. You don't care. But it was an 8-hour drive. 8 hours.
Yeah.
And
That's actually crazy.
And
It
Pam's,
takes me.
bro, my plane journey to Texas was 8 hours.
I think it's a
I'm
Texas
just
thing
saying.
because it's
New
just
York
so
to
big.
Boston is like 4 hours and a half, 5 hours.
And
I've
you're
done
pissed
that
if you have to
trip a few
do it.
times.
You're pissed,
Oh
right?
yeah, I hate the trip.
Yeah.
The trip's stupid.
Dude,
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
It's like me and you,
8
Fix.
hours.
We probably live 2.5 hour drive away from each other, and we've never actually seen. Well, we've seen each other once, but we've never really seen each other.
Nope.
Like Texans would be doing that just to do this goddamn podcast together.
Let me see if I can get this. So that's me. If you're watching the video
That's a
version,
fucking great photo.
can you see what's in my hand?
Yeah.
That's a gun.
Yeah.
So if you're not watching the video version around the 15-minute mark, something like that, go and have a look. You will see a photo of me with a cowboy hat, dressed in all white with a gun on my chest. That's how I started my trip, people. That is how I started it.
You're living your best Red Dead Redemption life, mate.
Did you like my
Respect
tweet?
that
Did you like my tweet?
Yeah.
It
It was
a
some
good
cracking
tweet.
photos you got.
It
From
was a good tweet. It was a good. Did you see my tweet, Kresh?
Yeah, I did.
So for those
It
who don't know what the
was-
tweet was, it was, man, Red Dead Redemption's graphics are real good or something like that, which was me and Haley on a horse. So yeah, it was yeah.
Would you
Alright.
do the Texas trip again in the future?
Yes, for the people. To go and see Haley's family again, 100%. It was pure banter. It was a lot of fun. I realized how non-PC Texas is. I don't want to haul everyone in together, but they're not a very PC state. They were very a lot of words and stuff that I do no longer use. And again, I couldn't be me about things because this trip was paid for by Haley's family. I am staying in Haley's family home. I am on their ranch in the middle of nowhere where they could kill me. So I couldn't quite argue or, have my say the way I would have liked to. And that was interesting and very hard for me to bite my tongue on certain social issues and certain points of views, and obviously Mr. Trump himself obviously came up quite often, and lots of stuff, lots and lots of stuff. But I was very much of the mind, my politics do not matter on this holiday, so I'm going to just shut the fuck up and stand out of the way. So that's what I did. Would I go back though? Yes, because Haley's family were amazing. They were so lovely to see them. They're already like, when are you coming back? And I'm like, they were like, oh, we'd love to see you once a year. And I was like, you got no chance. Said to Haley, I said in front of all of them, I went, you got no chance. It's not happening. And she was like, why not? I was like, number one, it's very expensive to go there. And number two, bro, I'm not taking 10 days away from work every year.
Right.
Like, no, like the anxiety that I got from not being able to do the podcast correctly was excruciating for me. Yes, I was on the podcast. We tried. And for those who don't know the backstory, we tried a lot. I ran outside.
Yeah.
I ran inside. I ran to a different bedroom. I ran to another bedroom. I tried standing up. We tried everything.
We tried
And
close to an hour.
do you know what it was?
I'll just mess with it. What?
The wind.
It was too
the wind
windy.
messed with the
The
internet.
wind was messing with the internet.
But that's
'Cause
so
we're-
ironic because the best signal we had for you for like the longest period
Was
of time
next
was
to
when you were
bathroom.
outside.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that as
it-
well.
but it wasn't that windy. So it was
right,
every
and then it
time the
picked up.
wind hit, it would knock the internet signal out.
Right.
Wow, interesting.
So yeah, that is why I figured that out because we was watching TV, we was watching basketball, and then the internet, the TV got knocked out, and I was like, "Why has the TV been knocked out?" And they're like, "I was like, I thought it was all digital and stuff." There's like, "Oh no, because we're out here, they've got like a big satellite on a tree which beams to Timbuktu. I don't bloody know where it beams." There's like, so when it's windy, we just can't watch TV or use the internet. And I was like, "Huh."
Different
would've
world.
That would have been great to know. Yeah, it was wild. It was wild. But this is My Xbox and Me, our weekly Xbox podcast here on youtube.com/My Xbox and Me and all podcast services on everywhere. I don't know. I'm out of
You're out of touch, mate.
I'm out of
You're
touch.
you're
I'm out of
you're
touch.
out of it.
If you want the show early, head over to patreon.com/MCFixer for some goodies. The exclusive episode will be going up Probably
Ooh.
this weekend. I assume this weekend. I wasn't on the final part of it, so I don't even know if they did an outro. So I'm gonna have to watch that and figure that out. I bet they
I don't
didn't
think
do an
they did
outro.
an
I
outro.
bet they didn't
Wait,
do an outro.
okay. To be fair, I wasn't sure whether we did 3 or 4 of
No,
them.
that was the fourth. That was
And
the
so
fourth.
we didn't
Yours was the
know,
fourth.
like,
Yeah.
we didn't know where it would slot into everything. So
It's fine. It's no problem. Big shout out to our Patreon producers, Aaron Gard and FNH. Paul, topic of the show, though. The reason why people actually listen to this podcast and not for me to ramble on about 20 minutes about Texas. Microsoft reportedly working on Xbox Game Pass Family Plan. This one was taken from IGN. Xbox Game Pass is set to receive a long-awaited family plan, according to a new report from Windows Central. Though Microsoft has offered family plans for Xbox Live Gold for many years, Xbox Game Pass has been a single account subscription. That's all reportedly changing with an incoming family plan that will allow users to share the service across multiple consoles and households. Kresh,
yeah,
does this help you at all in any way, shape, or form?
I would have said no.
Oh,
But recently, I was talking to my brother, and me and him share gold through my
yeah.
account, whatever. Like my account's the main account on his Xbox, and he got a work laptop, and he's been going to the city to go to work for on occasion. And he was like,
Yeah.
I wanted to play Game Pass, a game on Game Pass, because I have his laptop's pretty decent, and he couldn't do it because he's on his own Microsoft account, not my account. So he doesn't have access to Game Pass because it's not his Xbox.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I
at
never
that
thought of
point,
that.
after I read this, I was like, oh, this might be something he's actually interested in doing because he would be able to use it on his laptop on the go and whatnot.
Would it not be more expensive though? Because you'd have to pay more to get more devices, right? Like that's how
I don't
it's
know
gonna
what
work.
it depends on the price is
Yeah.
ultimately what it comes down to, is like how much of the price, because it's what, $15 for Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah.
So like, how much is the family plan? What's included in the family plan? Is that consoles only? Is it not PC? Like a whole bunch of ifs, ands.
It's a lot of
and
questions.
maybes.
A lot of
Yeah.
questions.
It's
So
getting complicated out here.
It might
Yeah.
work. It might
work.
just work. It might just work.
Yeah.
Matt, what about you? Family plan? Would that help you and your dad? I know your dad games a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. It's such a little bit, and it's on his Series S, and he's not like trying to do it on PC and stuff. Like it totally works as is right now for us. Now, whether or not this will also come with they start monitoring it better, I guess. And like I got my account on 2 different Xbox Series X's, 2 different laptops, and a Series S. And so, like, whether or not they start restricting that kind of access, and at the moment it works great and it works fine and it works everywhere and it's perfect. But they could, if they're introducing this, start restricting access like that, and then it would cause some issues, and then we'd probably just upgrade to that plan. I do wonder, like I mentioned before, my friends are very into gaming the system and getting all their Bing points and whatnot.
Yeah.
I do wonder if there's a clan pass or a crew pass.
It won't be worded like that, but that's
no,
what
absolutely.
people are gonna do. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I could definitely imagine them hitting me up and being like, "Hey, let's all just jump on the family plan together and do it that way, because why not, right?"
Yeah, it's for me. Yeah, it doesn't. Well, actually, So this is where the problem comes in. I get a lot of gold sent to me, like games with gold, not pirates gold. I wish, like, if I was had a lot of gold, I wouldn't be living there. Let me tell you, that golden joystick back there, it ain't really golden. Let me tell you, because I would have sold it for a lot of money. But yeah, I don't know if it would work for me, because unless my I've already got Game Pass until 2024.
Yeah, and that is the other thing. So with me and all my mates, right, who are more than happy to game the system, we're all kind of locked in until that point. Now, they have done stuff before. There it is. Look at that. If you're not watching the video version.
Let me show you something. So I need to be careful because I haven't used the code on this yet. So maybe I'll use it before the episode goes out. So let me show you so the Xbox sent me this. I got it when I got back. It's a package that says Game Pass has PC games. And it is one of the coolest packages, guys, that I think I've ever gotten. And you wouldn't think so because it's this little box, right?
It's very cute.
All right, let me. Okay.
You're going to give away your address. You're going to give away your phone
No,
number.
I haven't got that. I haven't got that. But the code might get given away.
Ooh.
It's a bunch of keys like keyboard keys
Cute.
Oh, that's actually
that you
really
put
dope.
on your keyboard. So I'm putting this Halo one on my Halo keyboard that I'm using now. So for those who are not watching it, it's a bunch of keyboard keys. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get my camera to actually focus on it. Unfortunately, oh, there we go.
There you go. Bring
Somewhat,
it further back a bit, a little
Almost.
bit. It's focused on your hand and not the key.
There,
There
there
it
you
is.
go.
go.
So
Little
I've
Master
got
Chief head.
Age of Empires 1, Back for Blood, Halo Infinite, Forza Horizon 5, Hades, Skyrim, Flight Sim, and Minecraft keys. And
Cute.
Microsoft gave me 2 of these. So I've got one to give away
Ooh.
to the audience. So
la la.
keep an eye over on my Twitter, at MCFixer. And maybe no, I'm keeping mine. I was going to give mine away, but I actually really want it. I'm sorry. I was going to say we could do one on the My Xbox and Me Twitter as well, but we'll get the My Xbox and Me account to retweet it and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
I've got. Look, it says giveaway. You can't see it on the sticker, but it does say giveaway. They gave me 2 to give one to you guys, the audience, and of course the one I got. I thought that was really cool. Like I feel like that's like they mentioned about sending it over, and I couldn't understand what they were saying. I thought it was a whole keyboard they were sending over with a bunch of different keys that were Xbox related. Like, bro, you're not gonna be able to do much with like that's a lot of keys out here. Like, you're not gonna be able to do that. And then I saw it and I was like, wow, that's actually really cool. That's a cool Xbox collector's item type thing, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm happy to have it. Screw you, Matt and Kresh. You know. But yeah, back to the family plan. Yeah, I don't know. I like the idea, of course. If anything that's going to save people money, I'm all about it. But I'm getting scared of these family plans. I'm not going to lie to you all. Nintendo got a family plan. Xbox going to have a family plan. Spotify got a family plan. Apple Music got a family plan. Netflix are coming for us. Netflix are coming for us all. We know it's coming. It's like, bro, there's too much money going around. Like, go on.
I was just gonna say, you guys share too many passwords with people for Netflix. People you haven't spoke to 5 years. I'm not saying you
that's not
specifically,
true.
but I'm
I was
saying
gonna say, hey.
People have people's accounts that they haven't spoken to like 5 years, and they're like, "Yo, why is the Netflix not working anymore?" Or whatever.
You know, the other thing that scares me about this is so me, my aunt, and my uncle kind of share the way we do things. Like my uncle pays for Netflix, my aunt pays for Apple Music, my uncle pays for we do like a little thing we all share. We've got family plans. This is 100% going to fall on me. I know for a fact. If they find out about this, they're going to be like, excuse me, you pay for Disney Plus, Amazon, we pay for Sky, which is way more expensive, by the way, and that's where I watch all my sport. And I'm like, motherfuckers, I've got this for free. I don't need to be a part of this family plan. I'm good, yeah? Like, I know for a fact this is going to cost me money, so a bit upset by that. But, hey, you know.
Haley could use that, though, no?
Shh, Kresh, don't say it too loudly. She might hear you. Shh, I'd rather her pay the $10.99 herself a month. I'm not. And plus, I've got a code right here, Kresh. I might just give her that one. That sorts her out for the year. Yeah, but I don't. No, shh, Kresh. And then it goes on my business card, and that's more expenditures. Shut up, Kresh. God damn it. God, you know, like you'll know these problems when you get a partner, Kresh, and they play video games. Yeah, they won't just be playing WoW with you. No, they'll want everything, yeah? And then you'll be paying for all the subscription service, the WoW subscription, then you'll be paying for the Game Pass subscription, and then who knows, Call of Duty have a subscription soon. You never know. I'm a bit scared. I'm a bit scared by it. I'm sorry.
I bet that there is a lot of data floating around there from Spotify's and Amazon's and all the rest of it that say if you get somebody hooked on a family plan, they are less likely to cancel that bad boy over any other plan. Because you're only dealing with one person, you're only banging on one person being forgetful instead of the 5 people you have on individual plans.
To be fair, like a family plan for Netflix and even Game Pass is very different.
Shut up.
Spotify.
What's your math app? Don't be talking about Netflix and family plans, all right? We don't want family plans from Netflix. Don't say it. Don't even say it out loud, all right?
Game Pass and Spotify, there's a big difference in where Spotify only hosts music from people. True. And so it's not as costly to them, whereas Game Pass has to actively pay for people. Like, don't get me wrong, Spotify still pays people, but it's based off per listen. And they also do adverts and stuff like that. Like, Spotify is a little bit more complicated than a Game Pass in this regard, I feel like. And I could be wrong about that. I don't know the numbers behind the scene. I don't know all the data, to be fair.
I think Matt's hit the
That's
nail on the
interesting.
head, if I'm being honest. I think it's a case of, if number one, if you've got four kids that play video games, period, number one, and then the kid can come to you and be like, hey, we will all swap over to Xbox just so we can get this family plan. If the kid's, if he's a tech savvy kid, which kids of today they are, like my nephew, oh my god, he's so smart, it's ridiculous. I'm like, bro, you know more about the moon than I know. Like, Jesus Christ, mate. But if you're a family of gamers, this is going to be amazing for you, right? Let's say the price goes up to $25 a month, $20 a month. I'd love it to be 20. I don't think it will be.
I think it depends what's offered in it. I think if it's just console, I think 20 is possible.
I hope they don't do that. I hope it's just, hey, you got
if
family
it's
plan, you
PC
get Ultimate. If you get family plan, you've got Ultimate. We only offer Ultimate on the family plan.
I think
That's how it
might,
needs to be. It can't. I don't
think
want a console
25
bundle.
to 30 then.
You think?
Yeah.
That would make it like the most expensive subscription service on the market. And we spoke about this. We did speak about this already.
A month. Yeah.
That's why I say if they can put it up to 20.
I don't know. I don't see that happening. I don't see them doing a $5 bump and being like, that's a family plan.
How much is Netflix's family? It's like $14.99, right?
I think so.
I think
yeah,
it's $14.99.
like
So what would you pay? What would you be willing? This, hypothetically speaking, you've got 5 people that want to. 5 is usually the amount, right? You've got 5 people that want to jump on this family plan. What do you think that's worth it to you? What would you be willing to pay?
There is 5
you are going to
people,
eat the
actually.
you are
Yeah.
going to eat the cost for this, not you and your mates are going to split. You're going to.
I'd be willing to pay up to 30. Like
For
with
5
what's
people?
offered, it's Game
Yeah.
Pass Ultimate for like 5 people.
So
That's still like you're paying 2, getting 3 free for the account, and that
yeah.
includes Xbox Live. That includes everything. Games with Gold, all that stuff gets included in Game Pass Ultimate.
If you pay for it separately, it'd be $74.95.
Yeah.
So if you
That's
they can get
over
it down
half
to
off.
if you can get that down to $25 a month, 30,
Yeah,
I
that'd
think
be
you're
huge.
right. I think 30 is where they're going to land. But if
But it
you
also-
could get it down to 25, that would be. Ooh.
That's also the assumption the family plan is 5 people. We don't know how many people it could be. It could be family plans for 3 people.
That would 3 people for $20. I'd be super happy. I'd take that.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. But I still don't think they would do $20. Even if that's the case, I think they'd go 25.
I think you're more likely to see a tiered system that has varying amounts of people available on the system, as opposed to a tiered system that includes PC Game Pass and not this and that. No. You get the max version of this thing, but either you got 3 people or 5 people or 7 people or whatever.
My only question with that would be, does Microsoft want to do tiers like that?
No,
It's like
I
they
don't think
technically have tiers right now, but the tiers are like PC Game Pass, PC or console Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah.
That's it.
Separate ecosystems is why. So I don't have a problem with what they've got right now. That's
Yeah.
why I'm okay with it. Unlike PlayStation,
Ooh.
didn't get to have my say on that, did I? Nah.
It was
bunch of idiots.
It was perfect when you disconnected. You were literally like winding up.
Mid-rant.
Let me tell you why
I'm gonna go on a rant.
Damn. I don't
It was
really
great.
have much to say on it, to be honest with you. To me, it just isn't appealing at all. As I will consider myself a casual PlayStation fan, especially now. Didn't play Returnal. Didn't play what they bring out last year. Sifu. Didn't play
Ratchet.
No, I did play Ratchet. Didn't play Horizon Zero Dawn yet. I have them, and I'm looking forward to playing them, and I will play them at some point. But if I'm not playing those games day one, I'm a casual, right? That's kind of how it's got to be looked at this point. So as a casual PlayStation fan, that whole new system does nothing for me. Nah, that does all change when I hear Resident Evil 1, 2, 3 is in it, and Code Veronica, Kresh, Code Veronica as well, my favorite one. Like, can't say no to that. And then what about Resident Evil 4? I don't even like Resident Evil 4, but I do like Resident Evil 4 on a PlayStation controller. You know, it feels a lot better than a GameCube controller, and that's super important to me. And but it does play best on Nintendo Wii. But I'm getting ahead of myself. That changes then, but only then. All right, only then.
Got you. Only
Is there there are no other backwards compatible like Silent Hill, Dino Crisis. None of them are like Tomb Raiders.
Not for me to pay for this. No chance. Tomb Raider. You've seen those games? Those old games.
Well,
suck.
Also, you can play Tomb Raider on like a phone and shit.
You can play all of these games on a phone. They're just not made available on a phone. To be honest,
well, to be sure, but Tomb Raider is my point.
Okay,
and so yeah, it's something I said to Kresh last week. Like, I could imagine myself getting the month trial and banging out all those backwards compatible games that I want to dip into for an hour and then remember how shit they are and then bounce out.
I will say that I think that like that highest tier, I don't think Sony expects that to be their largest tier. I think they expect like the most hardcore gamers, especially.
But that should be me.
Really enjoy.
That should be. Yeah, no, it should be. I'm look at my bloody bedroom. Like, it is gamer. Like, yeah, that should be me.
Sure, but like, are you a fan of the history of PlayStation? That's more so where I was going.
I grew up on PlayStation.
The history of games.
Sure. I grew up. I've got way more history with PlayStation 1, 2. You also are Mr. Old Games Old, and on to the next thing. Kresh,
as opposed
just
to
want to let you know,
fans of nostalgia. Yeah,
want to let you know, by definition, those games are old.
I've said it a million times. I'm not disagreeing.
Just letting you know. I just want people to understand.
I don't think that is marketed for you. I don't think you're the type of hardcore gamer that would go for.
Do you know what I've come to terms with that I am not?
What?
I am not a fan of Nintendo. I figured that out on this trip.
Wow. What, because all you had was your Switch?
How many times do you think I turned the Switch on?
Never.
Once on the plane.
0.
What?
I wasn't compelled to play. I've bought the new Pokemon. I've got Pokemon Switch. The only games that I care about from Nintendo is Mario Party, Mario Kart, Mario Super Soccer Slam. That is all I care about. I've learned that is all I care about. Like, we brought Haley's Switch. We have 2 Switches in this goddamn hat. Neither of them got turned on this trip. I was on an 8-hour flight and a 9-hour flight. Didn't even look at it. We just watched The Office and films instead. Why are you shaking your head?
How many times have you watched The Office?
Oh, no, I've never watched it from all of it. I've never watched all of it. Seen an episode here or there, but I've never watched all of it. Yeah,
fair enough.
So
if you were watching it like most people are for the 7th time, like my girlfriend's,
no.
My girlfriend's in like season 7 of Friends for the 20th time. It's like you're better off on TikTok. Like, oh my god, I can't stand it.
At least the old content's old, Matt. Is that what you're saying?
Old content's old.
But I'm such a hypocrite because fucking every year I'll probably watch Lord of the Rings and Star Wars and fucking I'll watch the Marvel movies back. You know what I mean?
That doesn't count because like Resident Evil games are old, so we don't count those. Those are nostalgia. We
classics.
Keep those
classics are different from old games.
They're classics, Kresh. You're right. They're classics. They're classics. That's like a good album. It's a classic, you know. Like they're different. Yeah. They live in a different world compared to these. What do you think? I want to go back and play Croc? Who cares about Croc?
But I would jump back into Croc.
Crisis.
But again,
am I right?
Half an hour in Croc, half an hour in Dino Crisis. Ape Escape.
No, Ape Escape.
I get banging out in 2 weeks.
Ape Escape was
Ape Escape was fire. No, it wasn't. It was fire back in the day. It aged horribly. I will say that. Horrible.
All right, well, we're gonna start talking about iToy all of a sudden. Like, get out.
I don't know what iToy is. So,
wait, you never played iToy?
No, I don't know what it is.
It was Kinect before Kinect, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know what iToy is.
Wow.
Absolutely no clue.
I kind of disrupt the conversation about family plans, but
I can't remember what we were talking about either.
So
we went into PlayStation.
Will your family be picking up family plan?
No. The only possibility is if my brother wants it.
And but you'll make him pay for it. I was going to say, you're making
That's what I'm saying. If you pay for it. Otherwise, no.
If it's allowed 5 users, then that is me, my 3 mates who play all the time, and my dad. And so maybe. But that's in like 3 years' time when our Game Pass runs out right now. Unless they offer some sort of upgrade service, which maybe they will because they've done that before with other bits. But like, I don't know. Okay. Can we transfer and pool our Bing points is the thing that I keep thinking about, which I don't think there's currently a way to do it. But if there was... And then we get. Can we buy Xbox Store gift cards and gift them to each other with our Bing points?
That's a pretty good idea. I think
If
that would
it's
be doable because
doable,
they give you codes.
we will
Oh
find
no,
a
I think
way.
I think Microsoft just gives you the money on your account.
I think they
not
do,
giving
but
you
then
code.
can you gift that
I
to
don't
each
think
other?
so. I don't think it lets you. I could be wrong, but I don't think it lets you.
There might be a way to buy with Bing points to buy Game Pass for people. I think I've seen that before.
But buying Game Pass for 4 people and buying Xbox money for people is different.
100%. But if I could buy Xbox Game Pass Family for people, and then they would all then just assign that to me. If there's a way, we will figure it out,
Got it.
and I will report back.
Please do. Please do.
But also, this is just a rumor.
No, this is happening.
It's from
This is
Windows
happening.
Central, so I feel
Windows
like
Central. Who reported it? Let me see. Is it Jez? If it was Jez, it's coming true. Let me tell you.
What I was going to say is that Microsoft also telegraph exactly what they're going to do. They just do it on Office first, and they've had Office family plans for ages. So it's definitely coming true.
I don't know if it's them telegraphing what they're gonna do, or if it's them just realizing something works for one thing that they just bring it over to another.
Sure, that's a better way of putting it. Yeah. I agree.
It was Jez from Windows Central, and
Yeah, so
it's true.
It's yeah.
I'm putting my house on it. He's a very good reporter over there. We talk about
especially when it comes to Xbox stuff.
Yes, he's the guy I go to. Him, Jason Schreier, like they know their stuff. They know their stuff, and they've got contacts in the right places. See, I get told things, and I just don't tell anybody. You know what I mean? I just can't. I'm like, no. I refuse.
You're not a reporter.
I refuse. That's damn straight. Remember that always, people. Do you know what? I've noticed that as of lately, as we've grown the podcast, I've noticed that people think that is what this is. No. I've told you this before, and I'll tell you this again. This is three schmucks coming around a microphone to talk about Xbox and sometimes other things. And I used to be super hardcore Xbox. Like, we wouldn't even talk about PlayStation on the podcast. Nah, very different. Very different. Moving on, though. Let's jump into Fix the Sag. Remember, you can email in myxboxandmepodcast@gmail.com. Who said that on last week's show? Was it Matt? Did you get it right?
I didn't want to bring it up, but Sarah Squid wrote in with a question, a very long question, and the end of it was, Matt, do you know the podcast email? And I dodged it. Like fucking Neo from the Matrix.
I don't do that. I'm letting you guys know. So, and you want, and so like seems like a good place to insert this. How was the podcast? Doing the podcast without me? How was it, Matt? I'll start with that. How was it? Was it better? Was it worse? Did you enjoy it more? Like, do I talk too much? I know I do. I'm sorry.
There was, an hour of just trying to get the podcast working.
Mm-hmm.
And then a little bit of stress of like, right, how are we going to do this now and rearrange Windows and OBS and get it fucking working and shit. And it's not the same without you. Come on. So it was great. We were fine. We now know the ship can float without its captain. But it's probably going to hit an iceberg eventually.
Kresh, how was it for you?
It was good.
I think, like, you guys are not understanding, like, the magnitude of the situation.
Yeah.
I've never let anybody do this podcast without me. Anybody. I don't think Matt understands the magnitude.
You know what made me happiest, Fix? When people started messaging you that it was better without you.
I was pissed.
Because I'm pretty sure most of them were joking.
They were, but I took it super serious. I hated it. I hated it. Yeah, because this is my baby. Yeah. This is my baby. Like, I don't care if this goes down and never gets a view ever again. Like, I've committed so much of my life to this podcast. Like 350 weeks. Name me one thing you've done for 350 weeks, whether it's rain, snow, sun, or you're in a hospital bed. Like, this podcast happens, all right? So the fact that, like, do you know what? It was more a case of, like, I was like, Matt has been itching to get me off this podcast. And this seems like he's been itching to get me off an episode. I was like, you know what? I've tried. If you don't think it was in my head to go, yeah, we'll try again tomorrow. And we'll try again on Sunday. And we'll try until Sunday. And I was like, do you know what? I can't, because we went to the beach and I didn't know if they'd have internet. They had better internet. and I could have just done it there. But I was like, you know what? No. As Kresh has told me, he will upload the podcast and it will be up, whether it was an empty episode file or not. There would be a podcast up. I still haven't heard the podcast, so it could be absolute shambles. So, was there a bet or something of whether I'd listen to it?
No, we both knew you wouldn't listen to it. Don't be silly. I think half of that is you being on holiday. The other half is just
Also,
definitely not expecting it. Go on, Kresh.
When I'm not on the podcast, I'm gonna be 100% honest.
You don't listen to
go
it?
and listen to the podcast.
Of course
no.
not.
I try to.
You do. I know you do. I've heard you reference things like, "Oh yeah, I heard you guys talk about it last week." I'm like, "You schmuck! I ain't listening to us."
You know what I have found though, and this is quite bad. I watch almost everything I watch on YouTube. I watch at 2 times speed.
That makes
sense.
So yeah.
I have missed
a
a
lot of people do
podcast
that.
before. Yeah, I think so. I've missed a podcast before, and then been on the next week and been like, fucking say what you got to say, Kresh. Like, get on with it. Like, for both of you. Like, because I'm used to hearing you at 2 times speed. Yeah. And I'm just like, are we fucking drunk this week? What's going on?
That's brilliant.
Wow. No, I didn't mean to pick on you there, Kresh. It's equal between both of you.
No, I got you.
But yeah, even myself, I find myself listening to myself enough on 2 times speed when I'm editing in work or whatever it is.
That is the only thing. It's very, if you're a content creator out there listening to yourself, I used to listen back to the podcast. It's not like I have never done it, because the only way to improve is by listening back, figuring how I used to say interesting a lot. And I'm sure there's other things that people will pick up on that I say a lot now. But you try and tweak those little things about yourself, especially when you're doing a podcast, which is, for all intents and purposes, a radio show that goes out once a week, you know? So, yeah, it was. I'm glad you guys did it. I'm not planning on it happening again. And hopefully I'm never in a country where I don't have good internet again. But if it is the case, you'll be fine. I know you will both be fine now.
But I think that's why I'm less shocked, because I haven't been on as long as you two, obviously. But like, when I did join, that was kind of the conversation that we had, which was,
Matt, I want to let you know
that's a
something.
broken record.
That was a lie. That was a lie, Matt. Matt, that was a lie.
I knew when Fix said it. Fix
of course
did not
he
mean it, because
Kresh knows me.
I've known Fix. Fix has been saying this, like, Obi's lost hands on with the podcast. I want it to be like
No, wait. I am way less hands on this podcast than I've ever been.
100%.
Kresh, Matt does the thumbnails.
Crazy like that.
Kresh does the show notes. I literally, all I have to do on this
100%.
podcast now is sit down and hit record and upload it, and that's why it goes up late sometimes, because I've become less hands-on.
But once you're not on it, you've essentially relinquished everything.
Yeah,
the minute, that's what you don't want to do.
No.
By the way, this episode as well, if this is your first episode, fucking welcome to the chaos.
I don't care.
But sorry, I was going to say, this is the sort of first 15 minutes when we're talking about Texas, This 15 minutes we're talking about Texas, and this now is a good peek behind the curtain of what the Patreon special will be, because it is essentially this.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh yeah, we probably should have saved Texas for behind the scenes.
Whatever.
We'll
figure something else.
Let's go to the question, shall we? First
question
is that
where we are?
Comes from Original Cookie Man, who says, have you ever had a game that you previously enjoyed, which life experience changed your perspective and made that game no longer your taste/enjoyment? A classic game which did this for me was a Cannon Folder. Never heard of it.
Cannon Fodder, yeah.
Oh, Fodder, sorry.
I've never heard of it either.
With a mechanic between missions which would show the story, would show the line of a new recruit, the pool of which you draw from for your mission attempts, queuing up in front of a dynamic graveyard or a fallen soldiers. As you lose squad members in battle, new recruits fill in whilst the number of graves increase. If you run out of recruits, the game ended. Makes me wonder whether cab drivers enjoy Crazy Taxi, or game developers enjoy Game Dev Story, or football managers enjoy Football Manager. So I'm assuming, Origin Cookie Man, you're in the army?
I don't know.
Graveyard? Something like that? I'd assume something like that, right?
It sounds like an intense game mechanic. Like, XCOM kind of almost has a similar thing, which is far less, graphic and in your face, but you can go into your, it's like the Wall of Fallen Heroes or something, and see all the people. And in XCOM, you can rename all your characters, and I would rename them all after like friends of mine, and I'd be like, oh, Emma just died. She got shot in the face by an alien. Sad times. Emma number 2 is coming in next. And that's what I would do.
Peace, Emma.
But yeah, I can't think of anything like that. Although like YouTuber story and shit that have been coming out in recent years do not appeal to me whatsoever.
What do you mean?
There's like YouTuber games.
Oh, the
right?
game.
Yeah,
Sorry,
YouTuber.
YouTuber life.
I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
a YouTuber either in that sense, but you know,
I got you.
Do you enjoy Sims, Matt?
Like Sims, the franchise,
The
The Sims.
The franchise.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
That's
I feel like that game appeals more to people who enjoy The Sims. It's more so.
YouTuber life, you mean? Yes, you're right. Yeah.
What I would say is I've never tried it, and so maybe if I did try it, I would love it. I don't know. But yeah, like it's an interesting thing to like compare it to The Sims. I don't know. I guess I've just never thought of that. I did play Game Dev Story, and like there's an option when you start that game for it to be completely random or it to follow the kind of history of video games. And so if you know, like, oh, I know I shouldn't back the Dreamcast, for example. Like I shouldn't develop games for the Dreamcast, And so that was like an interesting spin on that. It's almost like a pop quiz. Like, how well do you know your gaming history?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed that. But no, I can't think of an example.
Yeah, I don't have one either, to be honest with you. I try my best to not think about it too much, whatever it is. And to be honest with you, it's kind of how I've got by in life, if I'm being totally honest with you. I try not to put too much thought into anything, and I just try and enjoy the experience for what it is. And if I don't like the experience, I just stop. So I can't think of a game that I necessarily liked. I think, I guess the other way around for me would be reading, right? Like Final Fantasy VII. Like I could probably go back and play Final Fantasy VII now and enjoy it way more than I did when it first came out, because I was a kid, obviously, and couldn't read properly. So I don't know. Does that count or does that not count? I don't know. It's not a mechanic, I guess. Reading, is it?
Yeah, I don't think it counts, because for him, I feel like it's just sort of life experiences that something that you used to enjoy. I can't think of anything where I'm also very, would disassociative be the correct word with games? Where I don't put
yourself in it.
Yeah. For me, it's like I'm experiencing the story and the world that they created.
You ever cried at a game?
Have I ever cried at a game?
You don't seem like a crier to me, Kresh.
No.
You don't come across as a crier.
As I've been getting older, it sucks. Where I get more teary at stuff. Yeah,
you're the youngest on the podcast.
You're the
youngest on the podcast. You fucker.
An old man.
You know what I found?
In particular, I don't think so.
I have found that I am more likely to cry at stuff, because I'll cry at a movie. I can't think of a game that I've cried at. But I have found that I'm more likely to cry at a movie depending on altitude. If I'm in a plane, I cried watching Kong versus Godzilla on a plane. And while I was doing, and I wasn't like bawling, but while I was tearing up, I was like, I know this is fucking mental. This film does not warrant me crying over this.
Yeah.
I'm convinced it's something to do with the altitude. I want to see science on that. What I was going to say.
Easier.
Go on.
Say again.
I just said Tears Escape easier.
That might be it. That might be it. What I was going to say is to slightly flip this. Have you ever played a sim game that has convinced you to go try the real life thing?
The closest experience I've got to that is not a sim thing. It's more went to Egypt because of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
So that's the closest. Yeah, that's the closest I've got where like playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Origins. No, Origins. Thank you. I always get those two messed up, always. Origins, I was so taken away by Egypt and the story of Bayek, and I was just like, you know what? I want to go experience it in real life. Why not? I want to go see what pyramids actually look like. And we went and took ourselves. I remember saying Kresh. I was just like, yeah, I'm going on holiday. Where you going? Like, I only booked it like a week in advance. And then it was like, going on holiday. All right, where you going? Egypt. What? What do you mean you're just going to Egypt? It's like, yeah, fancied it. Like, Haley's off work. Like, yeah, we want her. That's another thing that we figured out while you was away,
Shocker.
Kresh. No, we figured it out. So Haley's cousin is also a teacher. You guys only
Yeah.
get 2.5 months off during the school holidays.
I guess.
So, well, spring break. So
Yeah.
I didn't quite understand what spring break was. So that's all of your entire school time off in elementary, right? Like, you only get that spring break off.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with Vix.
You don't remember.
I'm not the person to ask this.
You're the one who complains
You're
Haley's
probably
off. It's
correct.
just the English system. Yeah.
It's the funniest thing because whenever me and you were talking, and we used to talk a lot,
Yeah.
it was like, oh, what's Haley up to? How's work been going? She's off for like a week or whatever. It happened all the time. It's
Yeah.
not me like sort of like, oh, you guys aren't at work. It
No,
just so
I know.
happened whenever I would ask how Haley's
Yeah.
doing at work. and
But
whatnot.
we figured it
She
out.
just
We figured it
was
out.
off.
Your
Yeah,
school systems are
gotcha.
very different to ours. Like,
Yeah.
we have time off every 5 to 6 weeks,
Yeah.
where you
Got it.
guys just have a 2.5 month block.
Isn't that mad to think about now?
That's what part?
Like the every 5-6 weeks in like for
Didn't
some
feel
reason
like
when I
that,
was
though, did
in
it?
school. No, when you were in school, it was like, oh my god, it's going on forever and
Yep.
ever and ever, and those breaks felt so far away.
Do you think?
And now you think about 6 weeks, you're like, that's fucking nothing. 6 weeks is may as well be 2 days away. Like,
Do you think
Yeah.
if it was explained to you better? Because, like, I agree with you, but I feel like if I could have, like, I don't know, my brain always goes to a game, right? Where I'm like, I need the carrot at the end of the stick. And my mum wasn't in a position to do this, but hopefully one day I'll be able to. I'm not currently, but maybe I would be able to. Where it's like, okay, I need you to do well in school for 6 weeks. Then you'll get a treat at the end of that 6 weeks. And then we'll do that process again. And you do well in school for 6 weeks, and you'll get a treat. Like, if it was worded to me like that, where it's like, okay, cool, 6 weeks, study, do well, then I'm going to go to, I don't know, go to Coomhaven, which in the UK is like a holiday home place.
Yeah.
If I could have like had that carrot at the end of the stick, I wonder if I would have done better in school.
maybe I think as well it comes. God, we're getting fucking off the rails this week.
We
I love it. I think as well it comes back to like me and Emma were chatting the other day, right? We've been together since we were 19 years old, and now we're coming up on 30, and so that then is like a third of our lives that we've been
Yep.
together, which doesn't seem as that long, right?
No.
But when you're, so then when you're 8 years old, 6 weeks feels like forever because you've
Ever.
only been through so many 6 weeks. Now that we're coming up on 30, 6 weeks is nothing because fucking we've been through so many 6 week periods. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think there's like a weird time dilation. The older you get, the quicker time goes because you've experienced more time.
All right, Benjamin Button, chill up. Moving on. Sarah Squid has this to say. Rumours are Microsoft have had paid to get priority for chips during the chip shortage. Jesus, what? This hinted as the reason, one, Xbox Series X/S consoles have been outselling PlayStation the past few months, and two, why at this moment in time, Xbox Series consoles seem to start becoming rapidly available across multiple retailers, no longer selling out within an hour. Some people say this is underhanded, mean-spirited, and unfair. My question is, how is Xbox paying money to get chip priority so they can make consoles any more unfair or underhanded than Sony or Nintendo paying developers to make games exclusive for their platform? Microsoft isn't paying the chip makers to not release their chips to Sony or Nintendo. They're just paying to get them first. I don't see why this is being viewed as a, quote, sneaky bad guy Microsoft, end quote, thing.
Can I just say one thing with
No,
the question?
it's a podcast, don't you dare.
I have one issue with the way the question is worded. I generally agree with the consensus that Sarah Squid has, but I don't like the way it's worded.
Okay, Sarah, come from. You can get him. You can get him afterwards.
Any more unfair or underhanded, it implies that something unfair or underhanded is already happening, and I don't view one as unfair or underhanded.
Okay.
And I don't view the other as unfair or underhanded.
I think
And
Sarah.
I don't think Sarah does either.
Stand down, Sarah. Stand down. I think he's fair. I think he's fair in what he's saying.
I don't
No,
think she does
she
either.
doesn't. She doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think she does anyway. I hate to sound like a broken record, but this is business, people. Like, at the end of the day, Microsoft needs to catch up in any way, shape, or form they can. If that means they're willing to pay extra to get their chips earlier, they need to take that hit.
Yeah, it's also like if you look at the people who are actually like making these complaints, it's PlayStation fanboys. It's not like
Yeah.
your run of the mill gamer. It's not your run of the mill person. It is like the hardcore of a hardcore who might feel like they're the console of their choice that they have no connection to and they make no profit off of, and nothing like that is getting shorthanded in some sort of way. Even though I don't think that's the case.
I can see it from the point of view. If you're a PlayStation fan and you've been waiting for the PlayStation 5 and you just can't get one, like you just can't get one, and then you hear the news that the reason you can't get one is because PlayStation have a chip shortage, and then you hear that Microsoft are paying more to get the. I can see why you'd be annoyed about that. 100%. I can see why, but no, I don't see it as a big deal. I don't. It's a weird one because PlayStation are in a really weird place right now when it comes to buying studios. Like they've bought a bunch of studios, but it's not been to the same splash as what Microsoft have, which I don't think is a bad thing for PlayStation because I think they are very smart and we've seen a lot of their studios grow into what they've become. Naughty Dog wasn't Naughty Dog like they are now. Guerrilla wasn't Guerrilla. Like they are very good at, they've got the right studios and then going, okay, let's see where you can go. Like here's a game that was decent, but can we build on that? This is where Microsoft have never had that pedigree, really. No. I think Compulsion could be the first studio that does that, and that won't technically be through Microsoft. That will just technically be from the purchase itself. They wouldn't have grown in Microsoft. They would have just probably done better because they've got more resources, right?
Yeah.
The situation between the two is also like different. Like Microsoft, I feel, especially when like the purchases first started happening, and even now to a degree, they're more in dire for like immediate growth, whereas Sony has like their guaranteed studios that are going to put out games that are critical successes, whether people super hard enjoy them or not, they will do well, right? People will support them. People support Sony in that regard, where Microsoft's been very hit or miss with support from their fan base. I feel like lately Microsoft's like grown that out quite a bit, but like way back in the day, we've talked so much about Sunset Overdrive to the point where it's like pointless to really bring it up. But that's one of the examples of where like that game just didn't get the support it needed from the Xbox community.
Yeah. Here's a question for you. So, I don't know if you guys know or not. Horizon Forbidden West. Did that do well? Did I felt like when Horizon came out, it was like, you have to play Horizon. Like, this is the next big thing. And I will say I'm not quite as in tune with the video game industry as much since I've gone over to my little corner of GTA roleplay, which I'm coming out of again now, and I'm going to be playing a lot more games, which is nice, and I'm sure the podcast listener is very happy about that. But did Forbidden West not blow people away the way it was like meant to?
I think a lot of people really liked it. The big problem with it is Elden Ring.
Elden Ring came out the next week.
I think it was a smaller gap than Breath of the Wild, wasn't it? Or was
something
it the same
like
exact
that.
situation?
It was very similar, I believe.
And at the time, Horizon was also a brand new game, so there were more eyes on it, more people willing to talk about it. Whereas this time, it's a sequel going up against
sequels usually do well, though.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying it didn't sell well. I'm not saying it didn't sell well, but just the conversation around it just doesn't seem...
I remember the week it came out before Elden Ring. At least on my timeline and on my TikTok and whatever be that I would go on, I would see people talking about it. As soon as Elden Ring came out, the only conversations I saw people talking about Horizon was, I feel bad for Horizon.
Gotcha.
Elden Ring just came out.
Yeah.
It all shifted to just Elden Ring conversation from that point.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, what I was going to say as well is I think Horizon was well received and people enjoyed it. I think it was exactly what people expected it to be, which was just more Horizon. Bigger, better, PS5, nicer, shiny, whatever.
Beauty. Yeah, beautiful.
Elden Ring was a bit of a revelation, right? For like open world Souls games and stuff like that. Like, and so the conversation was so much more focused there. Elden Ring's cross-platform, so more people are playing it. It just stole the conversation, stole the air.
That's actually a good point.
All right,
Zelda was exclusive.
Speaking of, let's bring it back to Sarah Squid's question.
I apologize.
No, it's not your fault. It's mine. I'm not going to lie to you.
What I was going to say is it's classic supply and demand.
Yeah.
I make a thing, that thing is super in demand and I can make less of that thing goes up in value. And we know that Microsoft does the war chest that's much bigger than PlayStation. And so when they're like, bid for it, suckers, Microsoft's going to put in more money.
I think the big thing, if you have an issue with this, is you have a fundamental issue with capitalism in the world.
100%.
So
America love capitalism. Learned that while I was out there.
I
I already knew that, but hearing it from Americans was just like, okay. Like the way they were talking about how much they hate like social stuff, and like I was just like, okay, good to know.
I got a letter through the door today. I'm getting some like minor spine surgery. It's costing me nothing.
Yeah. You okay? You didn't tell us that.
Yeah, I got a slip disc. It's fine.
That's why you're using the standing desk now.
Yeah, basically, that's why I initially got the standing desk. Yeah, we're 18 months down the line, and I'm still in agony. So maybe that's not a great. I was going to say not a great thumbs up for the old social healthcare thing. Huh?
Do you know what? That's a lie. You did say that because I remember you were running, right? And you had to stop running.
Yeah,
right?
I haven't ran for like so long.
Okay,
I miss it.
I'm not as unobservant as I thought I was. Okay. Let's move on to one more question, then we'll get to the news, shall we? Zyga has this to say. Epic Games recently released Unreal Engine 5, the newest version of the video game developer software, which is almost an industry standard among developers. With it, they also showcased a bunch of developers who are currently working on games within Unreal 5. I have 3 questions. 1. Of the list of developers that Epic mentioned, which studio working on Unreal Engine 5 has the most are you most excited for? So there's a big list here that you guys can see. My answer is very easy. Guess who it is, Kresh?
Obsidian. No, Undead Labs. I don't know.
Kresh?
I don't know.
What game do we both love?
Coalition.
Yeah. Are they not on this list?
They are on the list.
Yeah, they're on the list.
100% is the Coalition. 100%.
Yeah, but yeah, that's fair.
If I'm most excited, that they are. When we get to see the next Gears game, I am so gonna be ready for it. Ready for it.
Let me just reiterate why I'm confused not why I'm confused, but why I had trouble with that is because I'm excited for the Coalition's game regardless. Because with Unreal Engine 4, they already made a gorgeous looking game, so I know.
Yeah, that's why I'm most excited about it with Unreal Engine 5. Let me watch that on the podcast real quick.
Yeah.
New Gears game comes out soon.
Yep.
You can play a co-op with me?
First time through.
I
can't. You know I can't. You know my answer. You would know. You knew what my answer would be to that. You knew what my answer would be to
Damn, man. I gave you I let you host my podcast without me, bro. And Ben's still bigger than me?
Yeah, you knew what the answer would be.
Damn,
you asked it knowing what the answer would be.
That's unfair, bro. I can't believe you're going to do me like that. Don't worry, I'll play it through twice. I'll play it through on my own and then with Haley. Because I'm not waiting for her ever again. I'm never playing through it with her again. No way. Not first time round. Not after last time. Will you, though? And I love you, Matt. I love you. Like, I love you.
I'll book a day off work and play it through with you.
Ooh.
Matt, you know I play for I'm going to be just sat there the whole day playing that.
100%. Let's do it.
Yeah, but
I'll book 2 days off work.
You're not going to get it, though.
I'll book a week off work.
Will you play all the other ones beforehand?
Well, I have played all the others except for 5.
So will you play 5 beforehand?
Yeah.
All right. And you book a day off work. We should probably have to get through it in one day.
Well, I mean,
unless the servers are down again. The servers last time for 5 ruined that whole experience for me. So, yeah, then I won't hold you accountable for that.
If I booked a day off work and the servers were down.
Well, what happened was you get to the end of a chapter and then it would just crash your whole Xbox and you'd have to do the whole chapter again. I'd say it 4 times.
I do not like the sound of that.
Yeah, it was a lot. But on to the next question. Which first-party studio are you most excited to see working on Unreal? Wait, you guys didn't answer. I only answered the first question. I'm sorry. Kresh. Most excited first.
CD Projekt Red with the new Witcher game.
Ooh, that's a good answer.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The thing that I am currently most excited for, I don't know. I'm going to say, even though I could very easily be swayed off of this answer. Because we've seen it and it looks great and I'm excited for it, Ninja Theory and the new Senua's Sacrifice.
Okay. And then first party. Most excited game from a first party?
Coalition.
Dev. Coalition. Okay.
Yeah.
Matt?
Obsidian.
Mine's Play Dead.
Answer.
Wrong answer.
You just said, wait. A curious fix. So your overall one is Coalition. Then once you get to exclusive, it's no longer Coalition.
Yeah, no. Of course not.
Gotcha. Okay, it makes sense. I just wanted to make sure that like I was following the correct logic.
I'm glad.
Got you. Okay.
You gotta remember, I don't read these questions beforehand, Kresh. I just have to roll the punches here. What studio would you love to see work on a game in Unreal that hasn't openly confirmed they're using Unreal 5? I'll have to look at this.
For every single game they make. Stop using Frostbite
Get off
engine.
Frostbite.
It ruins most of their
Fair.
games. They're buggy and it's consistent. Before it was like, oh no, the Battlefield games run great on it, but now we've seen with the latest Battlefield game is like,
true.
Maybe that engine just isn't it. But by like I can't remember if there was a rumor for the Mass Effect they're working on that it's going to be in Unreal Engine 5. I could be misremembering that, but I feel like that was a rumor said. If that's not the case, I hope that is the case. That the next Mass Effect is made with Unreal Engine 5 instead of Frostbite engine.
I'm trying to find out what engine Football Manager's made on.
What a terrible answer.
It's not, bro. Football Manager is one of my most anticipated games every year, and I've wanted them to get to a place where it can have like FIFA-like graphics, but with Football Manager type. I know it doesn't really matter, but that's what matters to me. That's what I want.
Are they not already there? Like they
No.
could do that if they wanted.
They probably could.
They just
But
don't.
they don't want to. Yeah, I agree. But
it'd be I feel like it would be way too much work for the scope of the game.
Yeah, but that's what I want, Kresh. All right, I was asked what I
I'm
want.
not.
That's what I want, Kresh. All right.
I'm not against what you want. I'm just saying.
It's just like Unreal Engine 5, all the stuff we've seen, the ray tracing, and you're like, I want to see a spreadsheet in Unreal 5.
The way the light bounces off that spreadsheet.
Oh my god.
The fact that you lot are disrespecting Football Manager like this is very disrespectful.
I'm a diehard Football Manager fan.
You played it once. Shut the up. Let's jump into what's brewing in our box, boys. I hope did we all answer?
I didn't answer that last one.
Sorry,
it's really hard to look at a list of studios this long and then
I'm
think
looking
of
at it, yeah.
studios that aren't on that list and then go like, I want this studio to make a game.
Just say any studio you'd like that uses their own proprietary engine.
But it's hard to know all that as well.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like you. Okay.
Some of the features they came out with in that little tech demo thing are like mind blowing.
Bro, I don't care what you lot say. I'd love Football Manager. Like, if they don't already use it and we can get FIFA, maybe that was a bad answer. It probably was. I mean, yeah, I've just got off a play. That's my excuse. What's everyone plan? Kresh?
I've been playing nothing. So,
bro, did you go on holiday for 10 days, Kresh?
So last week we had a conversation on gaming ruts where like,
oh yeah, we did.
Can't bring yourself to play any game, and since that conversation, I have not been able to play a game and enjoy it.
It triggered it in you.
It triggered.
I can't remember who asked the question. Was it Toplift?
It might have. No, I think it was. It might have been Toplift. It was either Toplift or Origin.
I just want to know who in the community we need to blame. That's all I need to know.
Good.
Is it enough? There's so much out though, Kresh. Nothing.
There absolutely is. Tuna came out, and I play that, and I'm like,
yeah.
This is a good game. But like, I have no one to play this. Like, I'm playing it, and I'm actively like, there's design choices in this game that are dope, and I enjoy it. But like, I do not want to play this right now.
Wow.
Damn. Okay.
I did play Tunic. I guess I could say I played Tunic there.
Yeah, perfect.
That's my. Yeah.
I'm excited for Tunic. What have I been playing? Mostly still Elden Ring, but also the thing you're holding in your hand right now, shiny Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. But I've been playing it for work, and that means I'm playing it weirdly, and not like just sitting down and playing it, you know. And so, I've played probably 3-4 hours of it. Nothing too crazy, but it's bloody good, isn't it? It's really bloody good.
I won't know. Mine's still a cellophane. I haven't been able to open it yet.
It's
I've got
just
some-
like, I mean, there's just no doubt in my mind that it's like what we were talking about with Elden Ring, right? It's this huge evolution of the franchise, and it is that, right? Like it's a third person cover based shooter. It's also got like combo, and I haven't played Lego games in a little while, so maybe they had this already, but like melee combos, like
Yeah.
Devil May Cry style juggling combos, and like it's just brilliant. It's just really, really good. The major complaint I'm hearing from people who've played it longer is that it's very kiddish and the puzzles are super easy, but that's exactly
Lego.
what you expect. Yeah, 100%.
It's a bloody
so I
Lego
I have
game.
heard, I have heard if you play couch co-op that the third person aiming on couch co-op isn't the best as sometimes.
Interesting.
And if you're like trying to throw barrels and stuff like that, you can hurt yourself with them, kill yourself.
I could see that. And what I would also say is like genuine laughs I've had in it in like the first couple of hours, and stuff I've seen later on in the game, like really, really actually funny stuff, and so that's great.
I cannot wait to play it. I'm not a Star Wars fan, as most people know, and I think this might be the most digestible way to get me to enjoy Star Wars.
100%.
And that's and the reason I think that is because I played through all of the Lego Indiana Jones games, and I'm not a big Indiana Jones guy, but I was like, oh, this is actually very good. I'm getting the story, and that's before they spoke. They speak in this one, right? Like, voice acted
you
and
can
everything?
turn it off, but they do speak.
Well, I remember playing the Lego games before that. I remember Marvel Heroes, when that first came out with my Xbox One. Xbox One. Like I'm actually very excited. Me and Haley said we're actually gonna sit down and maybe play it together. But I also don't like couch co-op, so I'm like, and does it? I don't know. Have you played any couch co-op at all, Matt?
No, but I do intend on playing it with.
Does
him.
it do the thing where the screen goes like that and it? I hate that. So for people who don't know, what I was doing with my arm was like the screen goes. You go off to a certain part of the screen, it goes diagonal, and then it goes like. It just doesn't. I hate it. Just give me a split screen down the middle and keep it like that. I hate it when it does that. But yeah, that'd be my biggest gripe, I guess, when I play it.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, I'm looking forward to jumping into a co-op, and I think you're right. It like from what I've heard, it's each movie takes 2 or 3 hours to get through. You can start at the beginning of any trilogy. Once you start, though, it seems like you're locked in to finishing that before you move on to the next thing. So that's something to bear in mind. Start with episode 1 if you want to get to Jar Jar Binks as quickly as possible. Fix. It's worth knowing. But yeah, and so there are these sort of open world hub areas that are really interesting to explore. My recommendation would be kind of beeline the main story because there is so much. Exactly, you need to unlock specific people to do things, and this. There's no point in running around and smashing everything up to get all the bolts. Like it's just a waste of time.
Yep.
At least initially. Yeah. And so it's all that classic Lego goodness you know and love, but just taken to the turned up to 11.
And we're gonna stream it, right?
I'm keen, dude, but we need to. I don't know when.
We've got to figure out a date, but we're going to stream it. All right, cool. Sounds good.
If you play it with Haley first, get through episode 1 so that you unlock Jar Jar Binks and you unlock free play, and then let's both jump in as Jar Jar Binks and beat the shit out of Darth Maul.
That's a great idea.
That's
okay, I'll try. All right, cool. Deal. All right, cool. Deal. I love that, and we can make it like a whole Jar Jar Binks stream, and okay. I'm in. I like that idea.
It's just gonna piss off every Star Wars fan under the sun, but yeah,
works for me. Well, do you reckon I can get a Jar Jar Binks mask?
100%.
I'm gonna look into it. It says here you've been playing more Elden Ring as well. Are you close to finishing?
Probably not. I don't know. I've got to a point where and Kresh, maybe you can help me out. Very light spoilers, I guess, for Elden Ring here, ladies and gentlemen. Give you 3. I'll tap my head, and I'll tap my head when we come back. I've reached Morgott. Is it Morgott? It was like a cutscene.
Yeah.
I got to a cutscene in the capital. I got to a cutscene, and they like reference these like 5 thrones. And they were like, they're all betrayed me or whatever. And I was like, I've only killed 3 of those dudes. So have I skipped a bunch of shit?
No. You've done the fire tower. Have you beat the boss for that one?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's one. You beat
I
gone on the
haven't been to
list.
the icy place, the giant place,
You'll go
and
to
there's
the
somebody
giant
else I
place.
haven't.
The giant
Anyway.
place doesn't have its own, but yeah, okay. You're getting close. You're not that far off to that. No.
Well, that's what I thought. I was worried that was the final boss, and I've missed a lot of shit.
No, you still have time. You still have
Okay.
time.
We're back. I'm loving Elden Ring. It's bloody great. And I'm keeping playing it, but I'm like, 80 hours in. I've slowed down on it because Lego and other things. I know. I need to say no more.
I'm starting it on Friday.
Oh my God.
Next Friday. I'm starting it over on the My Xbox and my YouTube channel. Fixer Fridays. Do I know what time they're going to start? Absolutely not. Do I know what time they're going to end? Absolutely not. Do I know that I'm going to be playing Elden Ring? Yes. Am I going to quit Elden Ring after the first stream? Better tune in to find out.
Wow.
You know, better tune in. And I've been playing nothing because I was away for 10 days, so I haven't played absolutely anything. I apologize. Jump into the news really quickly. First piece of news: Halo Infinite Season 2 will add new maps, modes, and events next month. Do we have an ETA on when couch co-op's coming and stuff, Kresh? Do we know any of this yet?
No.
Co-op? I don't know. Couch co-op got pushed more than regular co-op, yeah? If I'm not
I think so.
mistaken,
Yes, I think so.
So regular co-op is at some point in Season 2, where they haven't given us a definitive date as of right now. Couch co-op, who knows?
Oh, okay.
I have 2 Halo-related questions.
Hit me.
Kresh, have you been watching the Halo TV show?
Yes.
Oh,
Fixer,
I watched.
is there an easy way for us to watch the Halo TV show in the UK?
I don't have a clue. I thought they would have sorted this out by now, and they haven't. I really
Nothing they have.
excuse me. I really thought this would have all been sorted by now, but they just decided we don't care about anybody else.
Weird. That's so weird.
Yeah, I mean, let me go. I'm going to Google it right now because I haven't tried either. So Halo, go on, Kresh.
You guys
Is it good?
want to know about the Halo TV? I actually enjoyed the first episode. Where on the first episode, I was like, I could see myself watching a season of this. Then I watched the second episode, and I'm like, this is very bad. So,
Oh no!
I've seen different sentiments where some people really like the second episode as opposed to the first. I think like the writing and the dialogue and stuff like that. I don't necessarily dislike what they're doing narratively. I just think the writing is just not great. And there's some points where it's like it looks too fake with like the props and the setup, and it's just like, oh, it's trying a little bit too hard in some regards. There's other parts where it's like fantastic. They dropped the third episode, I think it was 2 days ago, and I was like, I could watch this. I have time to watch this. And I was like, I'm just gonna watch the second episode of Moon Knight instead. I don't want to watch
Moon
this
Knight's
right
so good. Moon Knight's great.
What the hell's Moon Knight?
New MCU show on Disney Plus.
Oh, I still haven't watched Hawkeye. Do you know what? We'll talk about this in the
Just
post
watch
show.
Moon Knight.
We'll talk about it in the post show.
Okay.
We'll talk about the post show.
That's fair.
If you want to hear my thoughts on Marvel, I'm gonna rant. Let's talk about it in the post show.
I've got a good topic for post show as well.
Oh, perfect. It's still not out in the UK, by the way. It's not got a release date yet.
No, I didn't think so.
I'm sick of companies doing this and just disregarding us altogether. It makes no sense. I get it. America, you're big, you're bad, you're ugly. But stop. Let's stop. You're doing my head in. So, no, I haven't watched it. I should have watched it in Texas while I was there. Should have downloaded Paramount Plus there and watched it, you know? God damn it. But no, I will watch it, though. I will give it a go. I'm sure it's something I can throw. Is it worth watching, Kresh? I know you said, like, first episode good, second episode bad. For me, not a Halo guy. Enjoyed Halo Infinite.
Not a sci-fi guy.
I'm not a sci-fi guy. No.
You might actually You might actually enjoy the first episode.
You might actually not.
You
hate
might.
This. You might not.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
I know you was.
You might enjoy it, but like I don't think so. I don't think it's a you vibe. If it comes out, I would recommend like giving the first episode a try if you have time for it, but you don't have a lot of time. But if you do,
that's true.
It might be worth it.
Okay.
I'm excited for it. Just let me watch it.
Maybe
just let me watch it.
But in this, Chris, I thought in this article we had like a whole little rundown of like everything that's in this damn season, but I can't find it. Do you know what I mean?
There's a temporary mode which is Lone Wolf, which is supposed to be a BR-esque mode. I know that. I don't think they've said the new maps they're doing. I don't think they've said they've shown the battle pass. We've seen picture of the battle pass. I don't know. I haven't.
I thought I saw
You
an
showed this to
article.
me. I'll tell you where we can get all this information. Give me 1 second.
Do you know what it is? I usually take everything off Twitter, and it comes in like bullet points. That's always
You
my
know
favorite
who?
article. Yep, Nibble. He's my guy. Shout out to, he doesn't know him
So
at
this is
all.
what he has. This is what he has
Okay.
for it. It's very bare bones. New maps, new modes, new limited time events, new battle pass starting on May 3rd. This is bullet points for it.
Okay, fine. Well, then that's
So
all we got to go off of.
Not
Then
a lot.
that's all we
Great
got
success.
then. Well, how are you feeling about it? Are we going back? Do you want to jump back in? Anyone? You're both big Halo guys. I enjoyed Halo multiplayer. You know, I enjoyed it a lot. Just I did watch this trailer and was just a bit like, oh, okay, I'm okay. I'm okay. You know,
If their BR mode's fun, whatever that mode is, I'm 100% down to play and join and play that game more. I just like I've come to the point where I realize like arena shooters just don't do it for me unless I'm
me either.
tryharding, and
Yep.
Halo's not a game I can try hard in. It's
I'm
not
good
within
enough.
like my capabilities. Yeah.
Yep.
Like I'm sure I could sit down and put in a lot of time and like get good at Halo. It's just not something I see myself wanting to do.
But you know what? I agree with you. But people would say the exact same thing about Gears, right? Like, and we love Gears.
Oh, absolutely. But
Yeah.
one of our biggest complaints for Gears is always like it's hard.
It's
to
not
come into
accessible.
as a new player. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, I always talk about these games that are like going down the pub with my mates, and then we got really into Halo, and then realized like I don't know anything about that's going on in your life right now because when we're playing Halo, we're talking about
Let's
Halo
talk.
because we need to be talking about Halo, and like yeah, I'm sure we'll jump back into the next season because we just will, but I'm not like overwhelmingly excited for it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Next up, Sea of Thieves is getting a new randomized pirate lord adventure. Sea of Thieves is getting a particularly randomized 3-part quest called Legend of Val.
the Veil.
Legend of the Val. Thank you. The update arrives on April 21st and aims to combine a well put together cinematic story with a quote, anything can happen, end quote, appeal of regular gameplay. While the third chapter of Legends of Val is unchanging, the first 2 sections will have randomly generated quests with both combat and puzzle solving objectives. It sounds interesting. It does, but bro, I kind of got burnt on that Jack Sparrow stuff, and we didn't even go back and finish that. It just wasn't. Getting to Jack Sparrow took long enough, and then when we got there, we were just a bit like,
But this seems like it doesn't have the attachment of that, of where you just constantly want to get into the Pirates of the Caribbean thing. Whereas this is just like it's selling you on you're gonna have an adventure, and that's the goal of it. There's no like, oh, you're gonna free Jack Sparrow and do all this, you know?
yeah, I do. I get.
If Jack Sparrow can't get me back in, nothing's gonna get me back in.
I kind
That's
of
fair.
agree. I can't. It's
That's
the
fair.
story. The story can't be that good, right?
Quickly jumping back to something we were talking about earlier, I'm excited to see what Rare are working on in Unreal Engine 5. Give me something new.
They're starting over Everwild again.
Bro, it's starting again. Bro, Rare can't catch a break, man. They make such a like. Don't get me wrong, Sea of Thieves is such a huge success, and they've got successful games. But they went from Connect to making Sea of Thieves to like Everwild being like. I bet Microsoft deep down are a little bit annoyed about the Everwild stuff because like they ain't produced Rare. I've been to Rare Studio. Rare are a big studio, and their building alone must cost a fortune. Like.
Yeah.
They got a kitchen, they got pool tables, they got a golf course. Like, Rare Studio is
mad.
bougie.
Is it a mini golf course? They don't have a golf course.
I don't remember if it was mini. I don't remember like the full in and outs of it, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it has a golf course. Like, or at least like some sort of golf. There's something golf there. There's something golf. It might just be 9 holes and not 8.
I can't imagine them having a full golf course.
Bro, I can't. One sec.
They've just got a statue of somebody playing golf.
Big.
That's
full golf course
crazy.
is big.
That's crazy. It's not a thing. Surely it's not a thing. Anyway, yeah, I'm excited to see what Rare are doing next. Bring something new out, Rare. Do it. Because Sea of Thieves just feels so unattainable, inaccessible at this point. Like when we jumped in for...
I agree with
I
thought you were about golf course.
both too inaccessible and too accessible in the sense of like when you're playing it, there's no drive to keep playing it to progress.
That's a really good point. Because it's all cosmetic bullshit, and I don't know how to unlock any of it anyway. So why the fuck am I playing this game? That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't have a golf course. Maybe I made that up.
I doubt they have a golf course fix.
It would be mad. I don't even know how you would do that.
A mini golf course or like, what's the stupid game people play?
A driving range, Wii Sports Golf.
We have a Wii Sports Golf setup.
Kinect Golf. Was that?
You're probably mistaking it with something. I trust that there was something that you perceived to be golf, but there's no way they had a full golf course.
Something you perceived to be golf.
I don't know where I've got that from then.
Maybe they had like a driving range, like that went into like a net or something. Maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like I just lied to you all. But anyway, they've got like a music studio in there, and like it's huge. Yeah, it's very expensive. Very expensive. Like, yeah.
No golf course though.
No golf course.
Maybe they don't have a golf course. Maybe I made that up. If anyone's listening to this and like can confirm or deny what I just said, please let me know. Next up, Epic Games and Lego are working together to create a child-safe metaverse space. Epic Games and the Lego Group have announced a new collaboration in which the two companies will work together to create a child-friendly space within the metaverse. The announcement states that the two companies will team up and build an immersive, creatively inspiring and engaging digital experience for kids of all ages to enjoy together. The digital space will be governed by 3 principles agreed upon by Lego and Epic Games. Protect children's rights to play by making safety and well-being priority. Safeguarding children's privacy by putting their best interests first. Empowering children and adults with the tools that give them control over the digital experience. Hey, I'm all for it.
And number 4, make bank.
Make bank.
Make bank. Big one.
Can we stop calling things the metaverse?
No.
Yeah,
this isn't a metaverse. This is Roblox. That's what they're doing. They are literally making their own Roblox.
Yes. 100%.
By the way, like Roblox, you guys better like put out some crazy stuff, otherwise you guys are in trouble. Because as big as Roblox is, I'm pretty sure Lego's
Roblox is huge. No,
Roblox
isn't big. Roblox is huge.
I believe that. I absolutely believe that.
Bro, do you remember when? No, but you say that. Do you remember when Lego came out with their own Minecraft game?
That's a good point. No, I don't.
They came out with. I bought it, thinking I'm gonna be ahead of the curve. Minecraft is dead. Like it's never. I promise you, this is what I thought. Minecraft is dead. There's no way they're gonna be able to take on Lego, and it just wasn't even close. Wasn't even close.
That's fair.
So, I get what you're going for, and I understand where you're going, but I don't think it's as easy as that. The kids love them some Roblox. Let me tell you.
Yeah,
I bought my nephew that for Christmas. Roblox bucks. That's what he got. That was what he wanted.
They're pronounced Robux.
Oh, I apologize. Right. I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry. But yeah, that's what he wanted. Bro, I'm the old boomer. He's like, oh, Uncle Corey, stop it, you idiot. But yeah, you know.
The thing that annoys me about this, and it's not a quote, so maybe it's, just badly written, but to work together, or badly read, to work together to create a child-friendly space within the metaverse.
I think this is IGN.
Like a metaverse already exists.
Don't blame IGN, all right? Everyone calm yourself down, everyone, all right? Calm down. It wasn't badly written. We didn't mean it. Do not come for us. Do not sue us, all right? All right? Calm down. Jesus Christ, man.
Because that makes it sound like they're gonna implement it into something that already exists, which maybe they are. I think there are definitely people.
You could rock your Iron Man skin in Lego now.
Exactly. I think there are definitely people.
Don't joke. That would be amazing.
That consider Fortnite a metaverse, and so maybe they implemented into that somehow.
It's not a metaverse.
I agree.
I apologize,
but there are some people who think it is.
Which is fair. Like, you consider whatever you want. Either like the definition of metaverse is changing, or everything's a metaverse.
I mean, I think I'm a rapper, and look how that's turned out. So, anything can happen.
Go to MC Fix your Spotify.
Please do, Strum it. Bro. You see one of my songs,
You
bro?
dropped
15K.
Did it really? Did you
15K.
mad.
drop Drama Queen yet?
No. Do you like that one, Kresh? Drama Queen, digit Drama Queen. Stop exposing my roleplay life out here on the podcast. God damn it. No, I haven't put that one out yet. Next story: Xbox Studio, the correlation, shares Unreal Engine cinematic test, and let me tell you something, people. It looks amazing,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I don't trust nothing until I see it in games.
100%.
Yeah, that's what like my thing with this is like it looks fantastic, but like I've already known that Coalition can do fantastic stuff. This is also the this is the third time they've shown us something with Unreal
Yeah,
Engine 5.
it is.
Also, a lot of the stuff in this video we've seen before. The spinning like diamond thing with all the reflections, we've seen that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new cinematic trailer of the dude getting chased by smoke or whatever was new.
Yeah.
And it looked really cool and yeah, great. But
You know what this really makes me want? It really makes me hope that Coalition, as much as like I want Gears to continue being a thing, I want Coalition to also do something other than Gears.
I agree with you on that.
me too.
I'd love for them
I-
to make a new third-person shooter.
It doesn't even have to be like a third person
I would love
cover-based
it, though.
shooter, just a third person. Like, give me like your ability to craft worlds and games and do something with that, right? Because you played the DLC for Gears 5, right?
Yeah.
Like that world they created there, I think it's better than the dark and grimy stuff they've done for everything else.
Yeah.
That I'd love to see them like sort of fully explore, doing something that's not per the norm of Gears of War.
Fair enough. But it's pretty.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, I do agree with you though. We already know they can make pretty stuff. That is kind of hard. The hard thing nowadays about games and stuff like that and things that get shown, where I'm just like, yeah, but we sing pretty. Like,
Yeah.
I want mechanics that are different and stuff that blows us away. I need like, bro, when are we gonna get the Nemesis system back in a game, man? Like, it frustrates the crap out of me. Yeah, okay, that works. That works.
That's literally the only game that'll, because WB has it what's
Patented.
it called?
Patented.
Yeah.
I don't know if that went through
Wonder
or not,
Woman's-
but they tried to. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it did. I think it did go through.
I think so.
makes sense.
I totally agree with you. I think like, I mean, look, Elden Ring ain't the prettiest game in the world, but everybody's fucking raving about Elden Ring, right? And like, you're right. Like the Nemesis system, I think we've said it before, is the best innovation in games that has happened in the past decade, probably.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Yeah, that's a big call.
Underutilized for sure. Underutilized for sure. I
Yeah,
think
it's
you could
super
make an
underutilized,
argument.
but I think you could make an argument that
I
is
think, yeah.
it changed the way you went about killing stupid orcs.
It made everything you do in that open world
Matter.
and everything you do in that world relevant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like you'll get callbacks to it while you're not even doing story, and it
Yep.
builds on a story of its own. And I think that's
Oh,
something
yo.
super unique that's very, very difficult to do. Or somebody like having your own guy randomly come and save you when you're about to die. Like all that stuff is like, that would be so dope to have in a game. And I remember the first time Shadow of Mordor did it, and people are like, this is going to be the next big thing. We're going to see it in so many places. Assassin's Creed is going to do it. This is going to do it. Nope.
No.
Nothing.
There's got to be a reason why it's not been used again, other than like the pattern now. But like,
Yeah.
what happened there? People just go on.
I think also making it make sense in a game is also kind of difficult, because it makes sense in Shadow of Mordor because you have a person who keeps coming back to life.
Yes.
So how do you make it make sense in something like Assassin's Creed, right? You could make it where it's so difficult because like you're playing a historic character who has his place in history. Do you make it like, oh, the Templars are chasing you through time, but then is every character being played by another Templar, and how does that like logically make sense, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
games.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they put this patent in a long time before we heard about it.
Yeah, probably.
They submitted the patent a long time ago, and then maybe a Ubisoft does look at it and go, can we put this in Assassin's Creed? And they go, there's a patent pending on it. And so if we do rush it through and then they get the patent, they could like take down an Assassin's Creed game that has a Nemesis system in it. I don't know how laws work, but that sounds about right to me.
I wonder if the patent only covers the way that WB does the game, like the way the system works, particularly in a WB game, as opposed to like the idea behind it.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know that's too much.
yeah, it's got to be worded in a very specific way, and yeah, like you can't just patent anything you want. Like
Yeah,
the first guy who made the chair didn't patent the chair, and nobody else can make a chair,
I
right?
don't think
Like,
patents existed back then, Matt.
True.
what was the first patent?
Moving on, E3 2022 digital event officially cancelled.
Shut it down.
Nobody's going to E3 no more. They said they're going to be back in
Guys,
2023.
I'm so sad.
Bullshit.
I'm so sad.
I
Now,
think
let
they'll
me-
be back. I think they'll make
I
an
think it's going to be back.
for
I think it's
2023.
going to be back, and I think it's going to be terrible.
I think
It's done.
what?
It's done.
You know what? E3, like this happened, and then right away, Jeff Keighley, the person he
Yep.
is, right away tweets out like Summer Game Fest. I just want to point out, like a lot of people hyped for Summer Game Fest. Summer Game Fest was not it. Like last year, Summer Game Fest was not it. So all the people super hyped about it. I think the only thing it showed to me was like these ideas of the way the formats work. Like E3 doesn't work unless you get every single big studio doing their own show at it.
I
Because
think
if you like,
people
you realistically,
are excited for Opening Night Live, not Summer Game Fest. 'Kay, he always puts the two together. So
Yeah.
people may be retweeting and maybe talking about Summer Game Fest. I don't think they mean Summer Game Fest. I think they mean
Right.
Opening Night Live, personally.
which is fair. I think
And
that's fair.
in credit where credit's due, though it wasn't the best show ever, the last one was actually pretty decent of Summer Game Fest. Sorry, Opening Night Live. See, even I'm doing
Right.
that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will say, don't know Jeff Keighley personally, obviously, and like he's more than welcome to do what he wants. But yeah, my guy, he loves to dance around the grave of E3, don't he? He's just like, well, hey, the perfect time to promo. I did exactly the same thing, just so people are aware. I would
Yeah.
do that 100%. But for me, I've been in the industry probably about 8 years now, give or take, which is wild to say. On a not a professional basis, but been doing this for a long time now, streaming and stuff like that. To think that I may never go to E3, a little piece of me dies. Because I've been covering E3 my entire life. Me and Kresh have done pre-shows, post-shows, to know that maybe one day, I've been fortunate enough, I have had the luxury of going to a showcase thing. I got to go to EA Live, which was really fun, and it was an enjoyable experience, but it wasn't E3. And to know that I may never go to one, it hurts. It hurts.
So if E3 next year is live, you would go to it. Guaranteed. Because it might, like, if they do a live one next year, it could very well be the final live one. if
It could
doesn't
be
work
one
out.
of two things, though.
Yeah.
It could be amazing, or it could be the worst show ever. Let's put things into perspective. I just come back literally today. I got off the plane yesterday, streamed. Today I went to WODSD, which is a brand new event they've put on in the UK. It's to replace EGX Reds because that's now left London. That's gone to Birmingham. So the people who've run that have now made their new event today. It wasn't great. And it's because they don't have the companies there that they need there to support it. Don't get me wrong, 2K was there, had a great talk with 2K, spoke to a bunch of PR people that I needed to talk to. I did what I needed to do for work, but I didn't play a single game at a game show. And don't get me wrong, I'm burnt out on events, I'm jet lagged and stuff like that. So was I really the target audience for this show? Absolutely not. Did play 2 Point Campus, actually. I lied. That's the only game I played while I was there. 2 Point Campus.
Which has been delayed.
But what?
It's been delayed.
Has he really?
I think so. Now I'm
You better
worried
not
I'm
be
wrong.
lying. You better not be lying. But yeah,
sure it's really not.
it just hurts. It hurts. How do you feel, Matt?
It's never coming back. It's definitely never coming back in the same way it was. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. All these
I
big
agree.
companies have started their own events,
Yep.
and they realize they can reach more people, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper, and it's more focused, and they get better results from that. And so, I do think E3 could come back. I think I actually don't see it happening next year. I see it happening in 10 years' time, and it's an entirely nostalgia-driven event. And it's not a press thing. It's not a press thing. It's basically a big old meetup.
PAX.
And there are some games there. Yeah, it's PAX. That's what I could see happening. But E3 is dead.
Bro. COVID killed E3. E3 was already dying, but COVID, the way we now approach meetings and things like that, the same people are not going to EGX to do business. Like, bro, why would we do that when we could just jump in a Zoom call?
Yeah, I think COVID sped everything up 10 times. I think already the technology was getting there where people are going, why am I flying to a different country to meet with this person I can video call with? And you're seeing a little bit of backlash on that kind of idea where people are going, actually, no, meeting in person means more. And there is this like fight at the moment. And you see it, I think, a lot with people fighting to work from home, and large companies pushing against that. Whatever, that's a separate conversation. But I think it kind of does display the kind of bigger picture. You know, you can reach more journalists by hosting an online event than you can by trying to get them to fly into a country.
I agree.
And that's all they care about.
Yeah. Next up, CG Projekt Red confirm a new Witcher game is in development and it will use Unreal Engine 5. Quote, no development time frame or release date were given either, but CG Projekt Red did share a teaser image that features a medallion and the phrase, a new saga begins, end quote. We got a question here from top left which says, with the news that CG Projekt Red are making what?
The question's from last week.
Well,
you can ask because you haven't answered it, so you can give your answer to it.
No, it's fine. I wasn't there. I don't get to relive the podcast that I wasn't on.
Well,
it's not how this works. No, it's fine.
Question's
doesn't
right
matter.
There. It's right
doesn't
in front
matter.
of you.
No, doesn't matter. I'm not excited. I enjoyed The Witcher 3. It's a fantastic game, but Cyberpunk put me off so much that. And I haven't gone back and played Cyberpunk since it's been fixed. Just the experience I had of what I played with Cyberpunk, getting to that point where I couldn't get out of the car and it just kept crashing and crashing and crashing. I think I'm just going to take a back seat on the next Witcher game. Maybe that'll be different by the time it gets there. But as of right now, I'm okay. I'm all right. You know?
That is a wildly different take than what me and Kresh discussed last week.
Well, I guess you both are very excited.
Yeah, well, excited, but I think what we were saying is like Cyberpunk was a venture into a very new world for CD Projekt Red, right? Doing cars, doing traffic, doing first person, doing da-da-da. All the new Witcher game has to be is Witcher 3, but prettier.
But it doesn't. It needs to be more than that.
It won't be.
No. It doesn't need to be more than that to make money. But for me, it needs to be more than that.
Okay, that's
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, The Witcher 3 was a better game after its patches.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I think people forget about Witcher 3. Like, The Witcher 3 had problems as well. But we just, for some reason, we just the item system was broken. There was a way you could keep selling pearls. They had to add a whole tax man into the game. Like, there was so many. Don't get me wrong. Every game has these certain things, but we talk about Witcher 3, the complete package now, which again is amazing. I think it's still one of my favorite games ever to have. What the words I'm looking for? Side content? No. Side quests. Side quests felt like main missions in The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
And I wanted to play them. I wanted to engage with them all of the time. Will The Witcher 3 have that? I think it will. I'm sure the writing will be just as good. I'm sure the story will be very interesting. But I want more. I want games to try. I know the Cyberpunk didn't work out, but the thing that got me excited by it was the fact that it was something totally different from what we had already had. Did that work out in the end? Not really. But it was different. And the way they were putting it out there was different. If the new Witcher game is just the new Witcher with a new character and it's not Geralt, I don't know if I care like that. Not the way I probably should care. Maybe I'll be very different when it gets shown. Maybe. But as of right now, just nah.
Does it being developed on Unreal Engine 5 instead of their own engine do anything?
It helps. It helps because we all trust Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
But No, I think it'll be pretty, but I don't. The Witcher wasn't that pretty in the grand scheme of things, if you think about it. Maybe it was for then. Now I look at it and I go, oh, 2015, 16?
I don't remember. I also don't remember what came out around it, which is probably the better.
That's the hard part.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, for me, I'm excited, but I'm not excited. I'm excited that people are getting a new Witcher game, and that's what they want. Me, I'm more excited for the next season of the TV show.
Witcher 3
fair.
first released in 2015.
Bam!
2015.
I'm good at my job. Come
You
on.
said 2015 or 16. I'm not giving that to you.
Okay. Next Tomb Raider game is in development with Unreal Engine 5 as well.
Yep.
Kresh ruined this for me, everyone, just so you're aware. Kresh ruined the Tomb Raider series for me.
Why did I ruin it?
I played Tomb Raider 1 and 2 and loved it, and Kresh convinced me to not even bother with the last game of that trilogy.
The last game is bad. It's a horrible game.
Kresh ruined it.
I don't say that lightly. I literally mean like it is a bad game.
You didn't even try it? You just took Kresh's word for it?
I trust my friend.
Wow.
Fix no. Fix didn't have time for it.
No, I did. I bought it. I bought it and didn't even play it. I bought it and didn't even play it.
Excuse to not play it.
I bought it and didn't even play it. That's how much.
I think the big takeaway from this is that it's being made by Crystal Dynamics. The last game was not made by Crystal Dynamics.
I quite liked the last game.
But Crystal Dynamics also made Avengers, so you know.
Sure.
Yeah, but the single player campaign of Avengers was good.
The story was good.
I think the game, for the most part, was good as well.
It was,
but also like
it's all the stuff that was like co-op. It was like sort of shoehorned co-op.
And this ain't gonna be anything like that. Like,
no, I know.
Gameplay wise, it's like, come on.
Hey, I take a studio on their track record, right? They do one bad thing, they're dead to me. Dead. You're dead. And then you come back out and it's good, and then you come back in my life. All right, I'll allow it.
Again, I'm coming at this from like
Resident Evil games?
Because they're all amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a thing that I heard across the office today, and so I don't know the full story, and I don't know the ins and outs of it.
Can you even say this?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope. I heard that this was a reboot of this trilogy and also a remake of the original Tomb Raider.
I love that if that's the truth.
Like original or the first Tomb Raider in the
again. I eavesdropped on a conversation I heard across the office. You don't know the
ins and outs. Got it.
I don't know.
Got it.
But that's what I heard.
Got it.
I hope you don't get in trouble.
Yeah, maybe we should edit that part out.
We're not editing nothing.
All right, if that gets picked up. All right, cool.
It's not a thing. It's not a thing. No.
Okay.
Cool. All right, cool. Well, I haven't heard any of that. Matt has, and Matt stands by what he just said. So perfect. If you want to quote us, it's my Xbox and me at my Xbox and me on Twitter. Make sure you link off to the podcast as well if any journalists are listening, because sounds good to me. Apparently, it's a remake. Everyone, rumored.
I'm scared.
I bet
guys.
you are. I bet you are. Do you know how much stuff I know that I don't talk about? I love this go quiet.
I'll be honest with you, Matt. I'm not seeing anything about it being a reboot.
Moving on.
Online.
Remedy and Rockstar Games announced Max Payne 1 and 2 remake for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. In a surprise announcement, Remedy will work with Rockstar under a new publishing agreement to remake the first 2 Max Payne games for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. Quote, Rockstar will finance the project, which will be in line with a typical Remedy AAA production. End quote. Happy about this? Max Payne was always, it was fine. Wow, Kresh, just going with that. All right, okay, cool.
I'm excited for the people who love Max Payne because I do know some people like really love these games. I personally, as who I am, do not care about these games.
You excited for Alan Wake 2 though?
No, we've had this conversation though. I'm not really a Remedy person.
Yeah, I get that.
Max Payne would have been one of the franchises I was excited to jump back into on the PlayStation Plus Extreme, and now I know that Remedy are working on a remake, I have no interest in jumping into the emulated version on PlayStation Plus Extreme.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
But I'm very excited for these to come out in 6 years' time.
It's gonna be a while. Yeah,
It's going to be a while.
it's gonna be on the same engine of the new Alan Wake 2, Remedy's Northlight game engine. So could be good. Could be good. Last story this week. Report: new Ghost Recon game in development. NFT team goes quiet. According to a report from Kotaku, French publisher Ubisoft is currently working on the next mainline Ghost Recon game, with the development lead laid by Ubisoft Paris. The team that also led the development of Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Kotaku notes that, according to sources, this game has been in development for over a year, is codenamed Over, and could arrive as soon as sometime in Ubisoft's fiscal year 2023, which begins in April 2022 and ends in April 2023. Ghost Recon Breakpoint recently received its final update with no further content planned. This comes shortly after Ubisoft made an unpopular decision to add NFTs into Ghost Recon Breakpoint through the new Ubisoft Quartz. What is it? Quartz. Thank you. System. Kresh, you're our resident NFT specialist around here, of course, as we all know. What does this mean for the Ghost Recon Breakpoint NFT?
I hope you guys enjoyed wasting your money.
Did it cost them any money?
Don't buy game NFTs. The
We're not
F1
there yet.
story came out as well.
What
where
was
people
that?
Played 100,000. There was an F1 game that had like cars. I don't know what the NFT exactly was, but people paid like $100,000 for NFTs and stuff like that. The game went under. Those are now worth nothing. Do not buy NFTs in games. At all. Do not buy NFTs in
Do you remember when MC Fixer, our own MC Fixer, was convinced he was going to buy some Castlevania NFTs from Capcom? How much are they worth nowadays?
Oh, I have no clue. But those are different because those aren't in game.
Again, apologies for the abrupt ending. Thank you for watching this week's My Xbox and Me. We couldn't plug. We couldn't finish that conversation as my PC accidentally crashed. If you listen to the audio version, I do apologize. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and we will see you again next week. Goodbyes.